Welcome, Augusti speaking, and welcome back to some highlights for the Civilization World Cup. We're going back this time to week 4, a crucial week to actually qualify for the semifinals between Nekst Vigraem, so a Russian team, and Ulysse, a Civfr team. So much action, so let's just jump straight into it actually. It was a continent map, two continents. One was bigger on the left side, but what was very peculiar is that most of the players actually spawned there, with 7 players, 4 Civfr, and 3 Russian players actually spawned on this side. It was basically a huge free for all with units being produced and bought left and right. We'll keep an eye on what's happening. The only player on the other side was Sandro Games playing Egypt here. He had all the room he wanted to sim. He'll eventually get to Caravels and actually attack the Nekst Vigraem on the coast, you'll see, which was playing Victoria this game. But up until then, he will have little to minimal impact. Let's quickly, we got Rome on the left side playing yellow here, Dido, Auden playing on the south, the Nekst Vigraem playing Victoria, Destroyer playing France, and in the middle we had Mongolia played by Lej. On the north, we also had Destroyer, which was played Persia as well. Here's the list of the city-states, which we didn't have much time to look into because there was too much action, really. And we're going to check Rome in the early game because he's the one who's going to be put under pressure. And that was a Cree spawn as well for Permen, north of Rome. So you'll see there was so many players. Vesuvius actually will have a huge impact for Rome, will help him a lot to try to stay in this game. But for now, attach your seatbelt because it's going to go very fast. A galley produced for Rome to block the choke the north from Dido. We got the Cree scouts actually attacking Rome as well, and it's going to be very tough. He's going to manage to save his settler though, but he will have to settle in the gray, unfortunately, because it will be blocked and it will be very difficult. At the same time, Penman was putting pressure on Lej on Mongolia, so the Civfr team was really on the back foot. They tried to actually defend Abel, which did an amazing job, but they had to siphon all the funds. They kept buying units almost every turn to ensure that he would survive. Kimai was put under siege, but was saved in extremis, really. It was very difficult for the Civfr team. On the right side, we actually had Victoria, fighting France. He's going to escalate, but again, we don't even have time to breathe because the generals are already there. Huge context for all the players. We got France, Mongolia, Persia, Cree. Everybody was trying to get the general this game. It was really crazy how it went out. We also had Cree scouts level 3 being upgraded left and right on this continent. It was crazy. On the right side, missed this action. A little fail from Egypt, which actually failed to take Brussels with his 2 scouts dying, but he will eventually get it. Even you don't have to worry. He will eventually get the POP Tahi for himself to put in a good position and put a sim up. But let's go back where the action is. A general was actually picked up by Persia somehow, and you'll see he will actually get into Perlman to try to put some pressure. War was strong on Rome. Vesuvius, amazing tiles again, which erupted again to ensure him to have get some sort of relative relevance in this game. But you see here, Perlman chose to go for Victor 2 to defend his expand, but it wasn't enough. Lej actually arrived with a lot of horses and archers and managed to raise the city from Perlman. So finally, first victory for Civfr, but they were really not out of the woods because everywhere they were also losing of some battles. Here on the right side, for instance, we got a slow Amali trick, tried to push some units out, but it wasn't enough to really to save the city of Leeds, which was put under pressure by Destroyer here. Destroyer had an amazing game actually, and entirely boxed the Nekst Vigraem and took control of the whole right side of the continent. So it was really well played by Destroyer this game. Destroyer actually arrived with his units on Penman. At the same time, a Hurricane was arriving, which almost destroyed the fleets for both the teams here. And now the 3 versus 1 start on Penman, which is a good player, but it was a lot to handle. And somehow he managed to push back the jaw for Persia, get walls up, and hold this position, which actually gave a huge edge for the Russian team here. Leeds actually fell on the other side of the map, so Russian team was taking back the lead, but Lej still had something to say and arrived with some horses on France to the south by surprise, and Destroyer really wasn't ready. We didn't have his units into position. So you'll see there's going to be a lot of action, trade between the horses, but eventually Nantes will fall, and it's going to be one city loss for France, but at the same time he gained on the one from Leeds on the coast. It wasn't really too bad for the Russian team. The Golden Ages actually arrived by that point, but everybody really didn't have much time to care too much about it. They really had to produce units and survive this game, just as crazy as it was. We see Ulysse actually trying to get back some of the coast with his own small navy, but it's going to be a very minor victory as it was entirely boxed in. And as you see, the cavalry from Egypt, from the other continent, actually arrived at the same time as the volcano eruption happened in London. So it was really nailed in the coffin for the Ulysse, unfortunately, which meant 3 versus 4 for the rest of the game. At the same time, we got Dido getting his own ships on Rome, which wasn't ready because he had to go land as well to try to attack Clement. So it was very difficult position. We see here London falling. From this point on, Civfr were never able to recover. It was just too much fighting, too much things to be able to compete. You see here, Abed is still a very good defense considering he was very behind in technologies and really didn't have any fleet to defend with. But it just was a little bit futile, unfortunately for him. Lej in the middle with Mongolia was still doing fine, but not strong enough to be able to carry the French team. The exiled city from the experiment got found as well. And I'm going to remember you that on the other side, Egypt was completely free sim, so he could go for any victory condition. So Civfr decided to actually concede the game to Nekst Vigraem, guaranteeing the qualification for the Russian team and eventually ending the game on this Group B game. So amazing game. If you liked it, subscribe, thumbs up, and so on. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.